Hey everyone, Mac here, and we are at day 15 of the Advent calendar opening. But before we do that, I wanted to do a quick talk about this piece right here. I actually just picked this up, seeing as how it's December, it's winter, I thought it's time to get the snow speeder. This is the 20th anniversary edition of the snow speeder. That is 20 years of LEGO having the Star Wars license. And if you've been watching some of my videos on YouTube, you know I've already picked up two of the sets. I picked up the Troop Transport and I picked up the ATST, not the ATST, but the one-man Scout Walker that came out. So the Snow Speeder is the next one I picked up, and I think the only sets I have left are Anakin's Pod Racer, which... not real thrilled about that one, but I'm going to get it just because it's part of the set, the 20th anniversary sets. And of course, Slave 1, which, yes, I have to get Slave 1. But I wanted to talk about this thing first. And as always, with all of them, we have this booklet, this retro-style packaging from the old Kenner Star Wars line. I love all of this silver. The box, just like all the other boxes, I'm going to keep the boxes. This is a little bit textured, has a little bit of a rougher feel to it, very much like the Kenner boxes. We have the 20-year logo over here. But when you open it up, you see the old 1999 set versus the new 2019 set. And the 1999 set is what it's based off of. And I don't know if I can get both of them in frame at the same time, but if you take a look at the 99 one versus the new one, you can see the new one is much more detailed, a much more uniform color. I'm not saying that the 99 one was bad. As a matter of fact, from all of the older models, I think the 1999 Snowspeeder is the one that holds up the most compared to like Slave 1, the Walker, the Troop Transport, any of the other ones. I think the Speeder is the one that holds up the best compared to its newer one. The newer one, of course, some of the main features is, first of all, there are more parts to this one. The cockpit is double hinged, and I'll show you what that means in a second, so it's easier to get the secondary characters into the back seat. Also, the biggest thing that the 1999 version was lacking, that I don't understand how they could build it without it, this did not have a grappling hook, the tow cable on it, which, when you talk about the snow speeders in Empire Strikes Back, the defining feature of the snow speeder is the grappling hook that brings down the AT-ATs. The new one has it, and we will take a look at that right now. But first, I want to take a look at some of the figs. It's not going to be a real in-depth look at them. It's just the minifigs. Both of them, this is Luke, of course, you can tell by the lightsaber. Let me get that out of the way for now. Both of them have the standard orange pilot suit. Luke has his red Rogue helmet, and we have Dak over here with the same, I believe it's the same body print. Yeah, the same body print. With a different helmet, a different paint job on the helmet. I like that because all of the Rebel pilots seem to have unique helmet art on them. I like that they didn't just double up the helmet. Back printing on both of them is the same. No printing on the legs, and just the back of the vest, and plain domes on the helmet. Now, both of them do have two face portraits. Luke right here with a standard look with the goggles down and just a little smile. And then on the back here, goggles up, and a little bit of a disconcerting look on him. Maybe when he has to dive out of the snow speeder just before it gets stepped on. Set that aside. And then Dak here, we have goggles down, big smile, not a care in the world. And then his second face portrait on back, abject terror, probably about 10 seconds before he dies. Okay, spoiler alert, Dak dies. Alright, so, whoops, went out of focus. There we go. So that's what we have. Dak comes with just his little blaster piece right here. And Luke comes with the blaster piece as well, and of course his lightsaber. Now, Another minifig that comes with the set is this Rebel Trooper. And I kind of dig the Rebel Trooper. Let me get his weapon out of here. I dig the Rebel Trooper. I like the chest printing a lot. I like the detail on it. The reflective silver is very nice. He has a backpack on back, but if you take all of this off, he has very minimal printing on back. So when his backpack is on, you're really not missing much. All right. So let's put him back together. And before I put his helmet back on, he does have only one face portrait, one face printing. And then his helmet, or his hat, his cap with the goggles down. And then this piece right here I like, because this is actually a piece that I originally remember getting back in the 80s. And when we originally got it with the spacemen, the space guys in the Lego space set, it was supposed to be a camera. So they were recording basically, so they were basically recording the landing, and it was just a shoulder mounted camera, because kids, this is how big video cameras were in the 80s. Of course, when I played with it and I had him doing this, it was a rocket launcher. We always used them as guns when we were kids, but now Lego has caught up to it, and it is a long-range rifle with a scope for the Rebel Snow Trooper. And for figs, last but not least, we do have our 20th anniversary Lando Calrissian, and man, how far things have come since even just 20 years ago. Of course it goes out of focus now. Let's put some light on and see if maybe we can get focused in. There we go. First of all, the printing on the chest, on the torso, I like it a lot. I like these little wrinkles down here, like his shirt, his mustache. He only has one face print and a very, very normal hairpiece that was very popular at the time. As a matter of fact, I think the 20th anniversary Han has this same hairpiece. The megaphone style blaster with the translucent stud on it, which was all that we had for blaster weapons back then. But I really want to talk about the cape, which I like how it has like sort of this shimmery blue on one side and the yellow lining on the inside. I really like that. It's a little stiff, but if you lift it up, he does have his 20 years Star Wars printing on the back, like all the 20th anniversary figures do. He also has his own custom stand, 20 years Lego Star Wars, 1999 to 2019, Lando Calrissian. And this piece sticking out the side matches up with the other ones that I have, which is Vader and Han, and they just all stack together. So we have that, and a small piece that comes with it is cool. It's one of the Rebel turrets from Hoth. Just a little base stand here. The turret does spin. The disc swivels up and down. We have a stud launcher on the side that goes along with the gun piece. I like the radar dish style that they have going. That's very reminiscent. I mean, I'm sure if you know Star Wars, you've seen Empire. It's very reminiscent to the cannons, the lasers emplacement that they had in Empire, in the Hoth trenches. And then these two studs right here, they're not actually part of the build, they're just spare red studs that came with it to mount up on the turret. So that's a cool little build. Nice little diorama piece, gives you something for the ground forces. And that brings us to the speeder itself. Let me lower this for a second. That brings us to the speeder itself, and I like this thing. I've always liked the Snow Speeder. The Snow Speeder in Lego form has always been nice. Lots of stickers on this, and that means that they're going to be crooked because I have never been good at putting stickers on. The only one I think that came on well were these ones right here. This is printing on top of the cockpit right here, and inside we have a printed piece right there for the pilot's controls. Now, this is what I mean when I said that the cockpit is double hinged, that for displaying and play purposes, you can just lift that part of the cockpit, okay? You can just lift the canopy, because this is pretty much how it worked in the movie, that this part came up, the secondary pilot slid in back, and the gunner slid in back, and the pilot slid up front. However, for practicality, to get into the whole thing, you lift up on this, and the whole thing lifts up. And what you end up with is your pilot goes here, your gunner goes here, and then it has this storage bay right there, where that brown square is, that you can set the blaster pistols and the lightsaber. And I always appreciate when a vehicle with multiple pilots and multiple accessories has room to store everything that they come with. So you put him there, drop that in there. You have to take the lightsaber apart to get it to fit. Oh, Luke's helmet came off. Give me 1 second. Okay. And then Luke just goes right up front, leaning back. Oh, tell me the lightsaber doesn't fit. Oh, there we go. The lightsaber blade does not fit. Oh, maybe we can put that just along the side there. There we go. And everything fits inside. A little cramped, but they were cramped in the movie too. I also like that the flaps come up and you have little engine compartments, little intakes right here for play. I do like these stickers because I had the original 80s Kenner toy, and it had a lot of this printing on it. Has another stud launcher on the back right here for your rear gunner, and of course it has its tow cable. It's not a terribly long string. You're definitely not going to be able to get the wrap around an AT-AT if you have one of those, but it is nice, and it's so much better than what the 99 issuing had, which of course was nothing. And then you just turn this little piece to winch it back up. Very basic stuff. I'm upset, well, not upset, but I'm a little disappointed that the grappling hook, the tow cable, does not actually fit somehow into the stud launcher, that it just hangs back here. Because if you remember when Dak fired it, or when the speeder gunners fired it, Dak never got to, he died. It came out of the rear facing gun, but I'll take it, it's good. The design of it is very nice. It has its landing gear on bottom, and it also has two bolt launchers on the underside, one here and one there, that fire off. Oh, sorry, got stuck. There we go. That fire off from underneath. So all in all, I do like the piece. Just minor issues that I have with it, like the grappling hook. That's really about all there is to it. But my biggest issue with this is the same issue that I have with all of the 20th anniversary Star Wars pieces, and genuinely Star Wars pieces in general, is the price. This is $40 for a roughly 300 piece set. That's about $10 more than what this set should be. This should really be a $30 set. And it just seems like, especially over the past year, all of the Star Wars sets have been way overpriced. And you can't say that well, it's just because it's a licensed franchise set, because the Harry Potter sets aren't like that. And I don't believe the Overwatch sets are like that. So I don't buy that it's just because it's a licensed product. It's just the Star Wars sets are too expensive. They really are. As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy these 20th anniversary sets, And that's going to be about it. I'll buy a few here and there. Like, I'm probably going to buy the Falcon, just because the Millennium Falcon that's out right now is a really good model for the Falcon. And then I have an older Solo with a Cantina set that I got last year for Christmas. And then with the 2 Death Star sets that came out, I'll have Obi-Wan and Luke and Leia, all from A New Hope. So I'll be able to take the Falcon, put all of the original minifigs in it, and have basically A New Hope version of the Falcon and all of the figures to display in it. But past that, I'm not going to really collect the Star Wars sets greatly. I'll pick and choose things that I want, but they're really going to have to be cool, really going to have to be like must-have pieces to get me to buy them, just because, like I said, the Star Wars sets are just way too expensive. So, we'll move that aside for now, and we will move on to the main reason why we're here, which is the Advent calendar openings. Aha, the continuation of the Christmas tradition. So, starting with the 2019 Advent calendar, Lego City Advent calendar. We want number 15, day 15, right here. Oh, we got a little snowmobile. We got a snow plow before, and now we have a little snowmobile. So, here's our bag of bits. Let me open this up, let me put this together, and we will take a look at what we got. Okay, here's our little snowmobile, and I like this little build a lot. This is definitely something that you could use even for any of your Arctic settings. This uses the small Technic piece back here for the rear treads. Uses your basic, it looks like just the snowshoe pieces actually attached to some clamp pieces that make up the skis for it. This piece right here set up for the headlights, and it holds one driver. It's a nice little snowmobile, and it reminds me of I forget what the actual name of it was, but it was like a $15 set for the Arctic Exploration set that was going on last year, where it had a orange and white snowmobile with a sled that was pulled behind it. And it looks like this would be a good companion piece for that set. I just want to set that down somewhere. We'll put it back here in the corner. So there we go. So we got the snowmobile, snowplow, and still, as always, our lone curler. Oh man, hopefully he does have more of a team back there. We'll wait and see. Now, on to this one over here, the 2008 City Advent calendar that I picked up. And I almost forgot to mention it is day 15. We're only 10 days away from Christmas. How crazy is that, man? This month has gone by very, very quickly. Now, for day 15, remember, we have a spear fisherman here. Yesterday we got the flippers. We got the flippers and the life jacket, the flotation jacket. I'm really curious to see what we get the other piece is for this diver. It's built already. It is a small, it's a small submersible type. You see right here, it has the arms, that would be the light, and the propeller. It's a small submersible robot. And he has the handle on here that maybe, let me see, lift his arm, turn that. Yeah, that he could hold on to it and let it propel him, let it pull him along while he's swimming behind it. I like that. That's cool. Two sets that I like the most with Lego. I really like the space sets. Those are my favorite part of Lego. Those are what got me involved in Lego. I really like the space sets. The other one that I really like is the underwater exploration sets. I like the coloring. I like the look of them. It's just Lego works very well for these underwater sets here. Just the look and design, shape and coloring of them. Everything works perfectly for that. So we'll set that down there. And here we go. There's our diver with his marker flag and his little remote drone. There is our snowmobile that we got. And of course, one last look at the Hoth speeder. So, that's what we have for you today, folks. Thank you once again for joining me. Thank you once again for spending time with me on opening these up. And Merry Christmas, everyone. And as always, thank you for watching.